interesting. I do think that television is taking great strides in making more three-dimensional women, and they aren't necessarily heroic. They just are fuller and are more real, and particularly with the Kim Wexler character, and it's lovely to be playing someone that while she's in a relationship with a man, she is not ancillary to the man. She has her own journey and her own ambitions and her own downfalls. So I don't know. It would certainly be fun to see a Kim Wexler spin-off. But I do love that. I love the audience and the fans agreeing with Peter Gould and Vince Gilligan, and I see it in the responses on social media. And I love the fans of the show and of Kim Wexler. I see that they find it even more exciting that Saul Goodman, our anti-hero, loves a woman like Kim that is entirely her own person, rather than some people thinking it might be interesting to just have girls that do nothing on their side. It's more interesting to have full humans everywhere, male and female. So I think it makes for a better series. I am a huge fan of Breaking Bad. Watched it then, I've watched it again. I totally do not understand any issues with, I don't understand any hatred or vitriol projected at that Skyler character, let alone the actress, who was phenomenal in the role. Phenomenal. She was playing a wife and a mother that got plunged into this darkness with no say about it, and then was trying to protect herself and her children. Kim is aware of what she's getting into, and step by step making the decisions about what she can put up with or not put up with. I don't know if fans will always like her or dislike her. Plenty of fans loved Skyler, and I am one of them. And you, most people that I know and talk to were huge fans. They're different, though, just because they've been set up differently. One is dragged into it unknowingly, and one is inching towards things. As your question asked, I don't know. I don't know if she would be the person that saves Jimmy from drowning, because I'm not entirely sure how firm she is on shore by the time he's drowning. I'm not sure how far she will slip herself. It's fun. As a Breaking Bad fan, it's fun to encounter any of these people. It's two of my favorite characters that I was curious about, because we did not see their full lives, was Mike Ehrmantraut and Saul Goodman, because you saw them in only small snapshots of life. So I'm very grateful as an actress that I'm part of the world that we get to know where these people came from and what they're doing. That being said, Gus Fring is phenomenal this season, and in seeing him and Hector Salamanca, Mark Margolis playing Hector Salamanca, to see the guy that used to be in the wheelchair, ding, 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 walking and talking, has been so great as a fan. I love watching it just like the spectators do. That being said, it would be pretty dangerous if Kim met Hector or Gus Fring, as fun as that would be as an actress. It's interesting to me to contemplate that, or seeing Jonathan Banks that plays Mark Ehrmantraut. We're constantly telling the writers that we want our characters to meet, but I think that they would just stare at each other, because they're both very silent and very cool, cards close to the chest people. But it's fun. It's fun for me to think where all the ways that these worlds could intersect, and some would be very funny and some would be very tragic. He's a genius. But so is Peter Gould. And Peter Gould created the Saul Goodman character. So I think that they're a really great combination as showrunners. What do I think they have? They're both incredibly gifted storytellers, both in character and storytelling. They've told me before that they never let a plot dictate the character. They always make the character dictate the plot. You can't force, and that's why they don't write, do they have the word here? They call them a Bible, an overall outline of an entire series. Vince and Peter are two of the only showrunners that do not do this. Because they want to be able to, as deep and complicated as their stories are, they don't map the whole thing out so that a character is never forced to do something that seems unreal to the character. And they're very real. And I think that that makes for a show that invites very intelligent fans. And that's something they continue to do, is they never condescend to the audience. And I think that our fans are very, very smart, and they enjoy feeling like I'm in on this ride with the writers. I'm never being condescended to. I'm not told what to think. I'm asked to put things together for myself. And it makes for even long character stories like Better Call Saul, it still feels active and exciting because you feel like you're with them in the car the whole time. And I think Vince and Peter would say the same thing. It's partially the fans that are craving that kind of rich, intelligent storytelling. I do think that it's a great literary device and fun for the fans that sometimes Kim's perspective on Jimmy is what we also loved about Saul. You don't necessarily want to say you love a man that would order a hit on somebody, but we loved the Saul that colored just outside of the lines, just a little bit on the fray, and found creative ways to do things, and is the most loyal person. He's the con man in the show, and he's the most loyal and least duplicitous of all the people in Kim's life. And I think that the fans do. That is part of our love of Jimmy, is that he is fiercely loyal, especially to Kim, and trustworthy in a weird way to her. And so she is a bit of a conduit for that, for us to enjoy that part of him and remember that he has a heart for now until it's eroded by Saul. Well, I do think that one of the many interesting reasons to do a prequel about a character like Saul Goodman is because you know so little about him. I just rewatched Breaking Bad recently, and as huge as the Saul Goodman character seems, he's actually in very little. He's not in that many scenes. And you realize you've been fictionalizing this whole life that wasn't there. You never saw him go home. You never saw his friends. You don't even see what he does in his off time. Does he go to bars? Does he go home? Does he know anyone? Family members? Is there a Chuck? Is there a Kim? Any of this. And so they've left that door wide open because, in a way, you only saw one slice of that man anyway. So now that we're seeing the Jimmy that leads up to that, there's still a lot of questions left to be said of who is Saul Goodman during Breaking Bad years when no one's looking. I don't even know who that character is, let alone who Gene is in Cinnabon. And Kim could exist there, Chuck could exist there, Hamlin could exist there. I don't know how, and I don't know why. I just know that Vince and Peter will write the smartest unfolding of that possible.